crafty friends. Happy Saturday. I'm so glad you stopped by today. I was wondering what I was going to do for today's video, what kind of cards, and I ran in Dollar Tree and look what I found, guys. Look at these beautiful leaves, and so many of them are perfect for fall cards. So that made up my mind. We are going to do some fall cards today. I know it's still summer, but it's almost August, and then right after that, we're going to get into fall in September. The kiddos are going back to school next week, so I am ready for some fall cards, and I hope you are too. So I'm going to pull some sketches and some card bases and go through my papers for fall and see what I can come up with. And we're going to make some fall cards today. Maybe it'll make us feel cooler in these 90-degree temperatures. Oh my goodness. It has been so hot and humid. So this will be nice to do something to help us look forward to fall. For card number 1, we're going to use Cardz TV Sketch number 19. Haven't used this one in a while. Now, you can find all the sketches over at my blog, cardstv.blogspot.com. There are currently 65 sketches, and they're all free to download. Now, we're also going to be using this, I think this is 1 1/4 inch stitch circle die. We're going to be using something else I haven't used in a while, and that's my Clear Wink of Stella. We'll be using these 2 Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. We've got the Gold Yellow blend and the Burnt Orange blend. And we're going to be using this set of Dollar Tree fall leaves. I think these are just gorgeous, and I can't wait to use them on my card today. So I've already cut all my pieces. I've put them together as my kit. So let's get everything moved out of the way and see what I've got in here. I'm going to make some more of these and just put them up for whenever I need a card, because you can change the sentiment on this card and make it work for any purpose. Okay, we've got our card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And for those of you new to card making, all that is a piece of cardstock that you've cut at 5.5 by 8.5. And this one I've scored on the side, or it's going to be a side fold rather, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. There are other ways you can fold this, but I generally go for a side fold. Let me grab my, there we go. I want that to lay down flat so I can show y'all what we're putting on here. Now, our first mat is 4 by 5 1/4, and I've got a piece of craft cardstock, and I did cut it at 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to put that down, and then we've got 2 mats, and these are kind of odd sizes. I don't know why I cut them at these odd sizes, but we've got 2 of them. They're 1 7/8 inches by 5 1/16. Now, why did I do that? I don't know. I guess I wanted more of a border around them. But I've got this pretty piece I found in my stash, and it's got lots of leaves, fall leaves, and little acorns all over it. And then the reverse side is going to go over here, which I love. It's this golden yellow. So like I said, these are both 1 7/8 inches by 5 1/16, which does give you a nice border. I'm going to grab my glue and get these attached to my card base. I love this paper. That's so pretty. With so many different colors in there, and I love that blue background. Now we look back over at the sketch, and we see we've got a rectangle, a square, and a circle. This is where I'm bringing in my leaves. And I had a little acorn stamp because there's no acorn on the leaves. And I wanted to use the acorn. And I also wanted the acorn to be on this little stitch circle that I showed you. And I think that's 1 1/4 inches. So instead of these shapes, we're going to use the leaves. I think we're going to use this for the rectangle. And these have 1 piece of foam tape. I'm just going to lay it on here for right now, and then I'll add more foam tape, because that is not enough. Let's put that right about there. That is gorgeous. And then I think we're going to use this. Is this an oak leaf or a maple leaf, y'all? I always get the two confused. This is going to be for the square. It also has 1 piece of foam tape. And then I'm going to put my little acorn on here, and it's going to be the circle. We actually are going to use a circle. And because these have that foam tape on them, I think we're going to have to put several pieces of foam tape on this to hold it up. The only other option I would have would be to take the foam tape off of these two, put them down flat, and then put foam tape just on my acorn. And I may do that. We'll see. Let's go ahead, get these off. We know they're going to be put on there. And let's put some Wink of Stella on this little acorn. If you look at these leaves, they've got a little bit of glittery shine to them on the veins of the leaves. And I wanted to put just a little bit of shine on my little acorn. I haven't used this in so long. If it's dried up, I won't be a bit surprised. And we're just going to go all over this. Now, I stamped this, colored it, and cut it out. And I went around the edges with a black marker to hide the white edges. Let's see if I can show you this. Can you see that? How it made it a little shiny, like my leaves? I really like how that looks. Okay, let's get this attached to our little circle. Let me grab my tweezers. Get some glue on here. I couldn't remember exactly the colors of an acorn, so I had to go look it up. And I wanted these to match my leaves, so I had to have a little bit of orange and gold in there. Okay, we've got our acorn ready. Okay, y'all, what I had to do, because there was so much foam tape on the back of these, plus there's another layer with foam tape, I took all the foam tape off the back of both of the Dollar Tree leaves and just left the foam tape that's in between the layers. Can you see that? And that is plenty right there. Now for my little acorn, I've only got foam tape at the bottom because the top of the acorn is going to be on top of the leaves. So my little acorn's going to go right there. So you see this leaf is the rectangle, the orange leaf is the square, and then we've still got our circle. Now for our sentiment, we've got this little piece right down here that's a 1/2 inch by 1 7/8 inches. It's going to go right down here. And I took another piece of that craft and stamped "Thankful for You." And you could actually use this for a birthday card, a thank you card, any kind of card, a thinking of you card. So we're going to go ahead, get that attached. And I'm thinking I might want to put some dazzles on here. We're going to pull out those dazzles and see what we think. Want to make sure I get that nice and straight. I just love that. I think that's so, so pretty. Okay, let's look at these gold dazzles. Maybe a couple up here and a few down here. We'll try them. If we don't like them, we'll take them back off. That's the nice thing about dazzles. You can take them off if you change your mind. That's kind of pretty. Let's put a couple down here. We'll just give this card a little sparkle. And you know me, I may go back later and move them. I probably will. I tend to do that, don't I? Okay, that's kind of pretty. So there is card number 1, using our Dollar Tree leaves and my little acorn stamp and some beautiful dazzles and some beautiful paper. Okay, guys, let's make another one. For our next card, we're going to use Cardz TV Sketch number 20. We're going to use this scalloped rectangle die. Y'all know that's my favorite. And I found this cute little die set called Farmer's Market on Amazon. And I left it all together, even though I have cut all the pieces out, because they're kind of small. But I didn't have any trouble with this. Even with my shaky arthritic hands, I was still able to cut these out and put them together. But we've got bunny rabbits. We've got sunflowers. We've got a wheelbarrow. We've got pots and little flowers to put in them. We've got pumpkins, corn. That's corn on the cob. Carrots, a butterfly. Let me see if I can tell you everything. There is so much on here. There's a pear. There's mushrooms, onions, tomatoes, bell pepper. Let's see. Here's some more bunny rabbits. That's the tomato right there. That's part of the corn. There's broccoli. Here's a feed sack, 2 of them. There's a little bird that sits on top of the feed sack. He must be on the other piece. But it's just the cutest set. And I'm going to leave y'all a link in case you're interested in it. I can see so many cute little scene cards, and I can use this for Easter, for fall, for spring. So many uses for this little set. So like I said, I will leave you a link, and I'm going to show you here in just a minute what I cut out with this. And I did cut everything out of white cardstock because I'm coloring it. But that is such a fun set, and it's called Farmer's Market. Now, let's move everything out of the way. I went ahead and put my card in an envelope, just like a kit, because I will be making some more of these. I have enough paper I can do that. This is what I cut out with that little die set. Is that the cutest? You cut your little pot, then here's some dirt that goes in it. Then you've got your leaves and stem, and then here's your little sunflower. Isn't it cute? I had so much fun coloring this and putting it together. Now, it's going to go as the focal point on our card. Where is my bone folder? I got to get my card base to lay down flat again. They want to spring back open because I've had my papers and everything in there. There we go. Now I've changed the measurements up, but I'm going to give you the new ones. The first mat was supposed to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches going on this. I told you wrong. The first mat on the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card was supposed to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. But because I've used this scalloped rectangle, which is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, I cut that 4 by 5 1/4 inch mat down to 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm using this cute little paper with all the sunflowers and leaves on it. And it's got kind of a plaid background with little dots and clusters of 3 everywhere. Isn't that cute? I love it. Now down here we've got a border and a background for the border. I took another piece of that brown that I used to cut the scalloped rectangle, and I cut it at 3 3/4 by 1 3/8. And on here it'll say 1 1/2 by 4, but I've cut it down. And this little brown and white polka dot I cut to 3 3/4 by 1 1/4. And I'll get these two put together, and that's going to go down here just like in the sketch. I love that polka dot with those sunflowers. So, so cute. Let me grab my glue and get our card base ready. I think this is going to be a very sweet little sunflower card. Next, we look over at the sketch and we see we have 2 rectangle mats. One is 2 by 2 1/2 and the other is 2 1/8 by 2 5/8. Well, I changed those dimensions too. For my white mat, it is 2 inches by 3 3/8. And my brown mat is 2 1/8 by 3 1/2. And I used a die that I found in my stash. I think I got it from Amazon. If I can find a link to this, I'll leave it for you. But I love that it puts all these little hash marks around that. It just really gives it a special little touch there to make it stand out. So we are going to get these adhered together and put that right there on our sketch. And it does look a little different because this is more a shorter rectangle than this one, but it's going to be really cute. So let's get these put together. Now I put this down flat because I've got foam tape on the back of my little sunflower. I've just got to make some more of these. It was so much fun. All the little layers for the flower. Just adorable. So we're going to get that right there. Let me grab my tweezers. I want to make sure I get it exactly where I want it. And I took my markers and tried to give it a little bit of shading. Isn't that cute? And you can see all the layers of the sunflower petals. It's tiny, but it's so cute. Now, I did something I don't normally do again. I fussy cut my sentiment, and it's Hello Sunshine. I think I'm just going to put it right there across the little flower pot. I'd like it to be more this way, but it'll be hanging off of the edge, and I think I'm just going to put it right there. I love this card. I love sunflowers. And I know lots of you guys do too. You always tell me in the comments how much you love sunflowers. And I think Hello Sunshine is the perfect sentiment. And the next one being You Are My Sunshine, right? Oh, that's so cute. Do you think it needs some dazzles? I don't know. Let's maybe put some tiny little gold ones on here. If we don't like it, like I said before, dazzles are easy to take off if you change your mind. And we're just going to pull up some tiny ones. We might leave them. We're not going to put a whole lot on here. Just a few. Just a few of these tiny ones. Just to give it a little sparkle. What do you think? No. Here I go. No, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to move it. So there we go, guys. I think that turned out so sweet. Love me some sunflowers. Well, y'all, here are the 2 fall cards we made today, and I love both of them. I love the rich colors of the fall leaves from the Dollar Tree stickers, and I really love that little acorn and the sunflower. Y'all know how I feel about sunflowers. They are just so precious. I just love anything with sunflowers on it. And like I said, I know y'all do too. But this was so much fun. I had such a good time putting these together. That little die set from Amazon, that farmer's market, I can see me using that over and over again. There's so much in it. And I hope y'all can find some of these Dollar Tree sticker fall leaves. They are just gorgeous. Thank you all so very much for coming by and spending just a little part of your weekend with me today. I appreciate it so very much. Now I'm going to see you again on Wednesday with Wayne's Mystery Card Challenge. We'll see if he tries to stump me again. He's a rascal. He leads me on for a while with beautiful papers that are easy to match, and then he's going to pull something, and I feel it coming. I bet y'all do too, don't you? So come back on Wednesday, and we'll see what he's got up his sleeve this time. Remember, guys, I love you all. God bless you all, and I will see you again soon with another card. Bye now.